In this topic, we are going to discuss the energy conservation in lighting techniques. Now, you are quite familiar with this word lighting, and might be possible we had discussed this point, but we will again repeat it. Right? So, in classroom also we had discussed that in the before maybe 15 years or 20 years before, we are illuminating a room by using incandescent bulb. This is incandescent bulb. The power consumed by an incandescent bulb is 60 watt. Okay, and the illumination was yellowish, dull colored. Fine. Next, the advancement after the advancement or after the invention of fluorescent tube. In normal, we called it as tube light. So the consumption of tube light is only 40 watt, means here we had saved 20 watt for the same size of room. Then there is invention of CFL, compact fluorescent lamp. Now this CFL consumes only 18 watt, means now 40 watt we reduce the same consumption to 18 watt. And recently in every area, maybe it will be domestic or industry, you will observe that people are using LEDs. Now the consumption of LED is only 9 watt. So if we go with the change from 16 watt real to 9 watt, means we had saved almost 1/6 of the power consumption or reduced the power consumption. But here we had not compromised in anything. Means what? Actually we can say it's a energy conservation, not saving. Right? So we will start by one point. So here is the first point: reduce excessive illumination level to standard level using switching. Now here you can see in this picture that this is image of a parking lot, right? And in this parking lot you can see many source of lighting are there, which is unnecessary. Means if you go with this image, it is clearly observed that there is a overlighting. Overlighting means what? The shadow of one light source is on other. You can observe this on as we discussed, the bridge which is connecting the Beed Bypass Road and Dargah Square. So on that bridge there are many street lights, and you can observe whenever they are on, that is the condition. So whenever they are on, you can observe that there is overshadow because they are quite installed quite closer to each other. And what this affect the visibility of the person going from that area. Next to that, this is also a waste of energy. Okay, so here we can use that, we can put a pattern, maybe we can say odd pattern or even pattern, or we can give a sequence to the lighting, that yes, these poles will start for this time, and for the rest of the time the other poles will be in on condition. So this will not only conserve the energy, but also it will not going to affect the visibility of the person. Now second point, the control lightning with clock timer, delay timers, photo cells, and or occupy sensor. Nowadays you know that you may have seen the ad on television that you can control your home lighting using your mobile. Means what? Now this is called a smart lighting technique. You can use a smart lighting technique by controlling it with your mobiles, phone, etc. And also there are many systems which can controlled by sound recognition also. Fine. And recently if we go with the photo cells for photo solar lighting, Solar lighting is also a good option, means you can charge your lighting, or you can charge your battery or photo light in the sun for the whole day, and you can utilize the same energy for the night. Okay, next point, install efficient alternatives to incandescent light. Now we had discussed incandescent light is totally outdated right now. Now everyone is using LEDs. Then select blast and lamps carefully with high power factor and long-term efficiency in mind. Now this point is quite important, because as far as the street lights is concerned, we are still not using LEDs in street lights. They are using sodium vapor lamp, and sodium vapor lamp are blast lamps, right? So over there you have to select properly, means in them also there are many categories and based on their efficiencies and life, so you can go with that. Next, upgrade absolute fluorescent systems to LEDs. Okay, fine. Now this point is it's a general point. Optimize the day lighting, skylights, etc. Now here you can see in the image that the roof of this building is totally made up of glass, right? So this will help to utilize the daylight to the maximum extent. Means if we are utilizing the daylight, means we can reduce the energy consumption by the artificial source. Means we had observed that many times in classroom, also in our classroom, we switch on the lights unnecessarily. Means we have daylight in the classroom, ample daylight, but still we start the LEDs in the class. Means that is a total waste. Next point, consider painting the walls a lighter color so that the wall can reflect the light. Okay, that you know that wall color affects the light. Next point, use task lighting and reduce background illumination. Now this is a best example of task lighting, a table light for your study. Means if you study, this will be the best option. It is not, means it will help in two condition. It will not going to disturb any person who is beside you, and second thing, you are saving the energy. Next point, re-evaluate exterior lighting strategies, types and control. Means if still in many areas in our home we are still using incandescent bulb, like for our yards or parking or anything, so you have to go and evaluate whether we can change the lights and how we can save the energy. And last point we had already discussed. Okay, hope so this point is clear, and if you have any doubts you can ask. Thank you.